we have started recording as well. So hello Abhishek, how are you? And जैसे कि सबसे पहले first of all you introduce yourself.
Good evening, sir. I am Abhishek Sinha, and I have rank 510 in gate mechanical. I have passed out from 2022 from Government Engineering College Chhattisgarh with 8.74 CPI, and I have secured 93.1% in class 12th.
Okay, so why do you want to join IOCL?
Sir, as IOCL is having very diverse opportunities ranging from the management to refineries, and we will be having very good career growth, as well as the package is one of the highest in any PSUs. I am also seeking it for learning opportunities, as IOCL has a very immense resources and as well as having large market from which I can learn many things.
How does IOCL contribute to India's energy security? And self-reliance?
Sir, as we know that energy is nearly equal to the oil resources in current era, the IOCL manages all the oil needs for our country. The oil is required to be distributed and required to reach the remotest part of the country. So being self-reliant itself requires this energy to be to get reached to the last man of this country, as well as the security of a nation requires the energy security which is provided by the this PSU itself.
So as you are saying that IOCL is linked up with energy sector, right? And it is promoting energy sector. So can you tell me what is the significance of IOCL in the Indian energy sector?
Sir, as the Indian Oil Corporation Limited is responsible for the management of all the transactions and import and export of oil as well as petroleum products. The IOCL is thus responsible for this part.
So I said that significance of IOCL in the Indian energy sector, right? Okay, so you must have told related to greenhouse and green hydrogen, I think.
Yes, sir. Sir, IOCL is also making ventures on non-renewable sectors also, like new form of energy, green hydrogen, as well as some wind energy, as well as the cleaner fuel, which are blended fuel, like blending the fuel with some organic material like alcohol, and increasing the efficiency as well as improving the byproducts.
Correct. So like you have been talking about, let's say, oil as one of the products of IOCL. Can you name something other than oil?
Sir, other than oil, IOCL is responsible for other petroleum products which may be derived from it and get produced by other industries like plastics, as well as paraffin wax, tar.
Correct.
And some other gases which are also extracted from when the purification process happens, which is also used for combustion.
Correct. So you are right. So to be exact, the LPGs that we use.
Yes, sir. LPGs.
Correct. Then we have the engine oil, the motor oil, lubricants. So those are also the byproduct. But as you correctly said, the crude oil is refined, and then we get these, you know, at different stages. So what exactly IOCL is, specialized in mainly? I mean, what does IOCL do as a general?
Sir, as in general, I have very limited knowledge on it, but I will share what I know. That it currently manages all the petroleum products and their expansion to every part of India. They have stations to diversely engage in that, as well as they ensure that they have surplus amount of energy at any point, so that in case anything happens in geopolitics, we will have some energy for our worst times. And like all this, we also see IOCL happening to managing some non-renewable energy sector too. Like we talked about some renewable resources, as well as blended fuels which are cleaner. And other than that, IOCL is also responsible for one of the highest capital making industries in India.
Correct. So what was your BTech project on?
Sir, my BTech project was on solar still, which actually means uh, instrument which will use solar energy to clean the water, which will distill the water and condense it, and then we can use it directly for drinking purpose.
So was it like first evaporation, then the distillation, then condensation? Like
Yeah,
that
exactly,
was the
sir.
flow?
Sir, actually, it was not in physical form. I used a simulation software called ANSYS, and then I modeled it for like most of the countries. I modeled it for most of the countries' geographical location, and we modeled it for all the daytime for which we can use it. And then we analyzed that what angle will be the most suitable for, like, I used my home city's location Bilaspur, for which I figured out that the angle of the tilt of that glass plate is very limited, and I need to like specifically use it so that I can get the most amount of distilled water for throughout the year.
Good. So like if you know, I don't know if that's the case. There are two type of simulation, mainly 1D simulation and 3D simulation.
Yes, sir.
So the one that you perform, is it 1D simulation?
No, sir, it was completely 3D simulation, as uh, we needed it to model for a pyramidal solar system.
Okay, got it. And it involved like, because you said it had condensation and evaporation in it, so it had a multi-phase flow.
Yes, sir, it had multi-phase flow.
Okay, so how did you carry on the evaporation? I know that you didn't have the
Yes, sir.
physical model, but let's say, can you explain how was the evaporation, then the distillation, and then the condensation in brief, maybe?
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, we had this model which was like, how do you say, sloped form like this. In this bottom part, we had water, which was continuously flowing through some pumps, and then the water will get evaporated due to the incoming sunlight, and will get condensed to this tilted part of still. And when will it touch that plate, the it will reach its condensing point, and will get will flow to the bottom, and there a pipe will collect all the condensate and will move it out.
Correct. So I can see you using the word evaporation here.
Yes, sir.
So what's difference between evaporation and boiling?
Sir, boiling is very specific phenomena, while evaporation is a
Give me a
surface
second.
phenomena which.
Varshit, please
Yes, sir.
switch off your camera. Please switch off your camera and be in the call.
Please mute yourself
Yeah,
as well.
yes. Sir, the evaporation is a surface phenomena which can happen at any temperature. Like, but the boiling point is very specific. For like water, it is 100 degrees Celsius, and if we are heating the water above 100 degrees centigrade, the water will get boiled. but the evaporation is can happen also at 0 degree centigrade, just above 0 degree centigrade.
It's correct. So what's the let's say physical parameter that is responsible for evaporation? What
For the
drives evaporation?
Yes, sir. So the outermost layer of the liquid will get energized due to the atmosphere, and it will break its all bonds, which are usually the hydrogen bond, and will get energized and get converted to gaseous phase. While in boiling point, it is like bulk phenomena. Whole of the water, we are heating in a teapot. So whole of the water in the teapot gets to the point of 100 degrees centigrade. When it gets to 100 degrees centigrade, it gets converted to the gaseous phase slowly, slowly.
Correct. So your answer is correct. But to be specific in technical terms, evaporation is driven by vapor pressure. You know vapor pressure?
Yes, sir. Vapor
Yeah.
pressure.
So we have lower vapor pressure above the surface, higher vapor pressure, and then because of that, the atom cross the interface, and that because of that's the reason the evaporation essentially happens. So
Yes,
I
sir.
can see your BTech project is very interesting actually, and like this is just the surface, and after that you have modeled it in ANSYS, but I didn't see you mentioning it in your tell me about yourself. I had to dig up your experience for
Yes,
that. So maybe you can by the next time whenever you represent yourself, because it's very interesting to know. And along with that, so what are you doing right now? I
sir.
mean, you.
I am currently studying design as MTech in IIT Bombay.
Oh wow, so that's cool. So in case you join IOCL now, will you leave it?
Sir,
I mean, in
actually,
case you are selected.
yes, sir. In case I get selected, I always had a passion to work in oil sector. And since IIT Bombay has also given me very large amount of opportunities, but I think that in the longer term, I should opt for IOCL. So I will take IOCL for sure.
Yes, and will
Okay.
you feel bad about, like giving up your seat?
Uh, Sir, actually, it happens like it's at the end of the day, it's like my choice of so that how I make up my career. So I think IOCL will give me the best opportunities.
Okay.
That's
So as you mentioned the products earlier, right? Some products you have missed. Like, can you tell me what is the difference between petroleum and petrochemicals? A basic question.
Yes, sir. So petroleum usually we use for the fuel we use in all the we use like for diesel, for gasoline, for kerosene, we use it as petroleum. But for petroleum products, we may get plastics, tar, and paraffin wax. These are not combustible, highly combustible products, but they are useful in some cases.
Okay. In petrochemicals, basically your reactions take place: hydrocracking, hydrotreating,
Yes, sir.
alkylation, dealkylation, hydration, okay, isomerization. So these reactions the reaction takes place in the petrochemical industries, okay. And in petroleum, basically your petrol and diesel, the products are from gasoline as well as your higher molecular carbon content, okay. The next question I would like to ask, like, IOCL values innovation. Okay. IOCL values innovation. So can you share any idea or sometime like you have faced or you have did some innovation?
Yes, sir. Sir, I actually think that the sector which we currently are in, like blending fuels, it has very diverse amount of opportunities. We must, if I get some opportunity to study in this sector, so I will try to be specific. Like I was always interested in blending fuels. See that we see that the fuel is very limited, but if we use the organic fuel that we get extract from some amount of some type of algae, some type of the rice husk, we also get some fuel. we also get fuel from sunflower oil, and if we mix that with our regular fuel like diesel and petrol, we have seen that in some cases we get even higher efficiency, as well as the fuel gets cleaner.
Okay, so basically your motto of innovation will be like the fuel should be as clean as possible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so a typical example for you, a typical question. Whenever you go to a petrol pump, like the petrol pump man, a petrol pump man says that भाई zero देख लो, है ना? So क्या हमें zero देखना चाहिए या फिर वहाँ पे डेंसिटी देखना चाहिए पेट्रोल की? वहाँ पे दो चीज होती है ना, डेंसिटी देखते हैं, प्राइस देखते हैं, तो क्या देखना चाहिए हमें और क्यों?
सर फ्यूल की जो प्राइस है वो सर स्टेट ही फिक्स करती है, बट डेंसिटी सर हम इसलिए देखना चाहिए क्योंकि सर डेंसिटी से हमें ये पता चल सकता है कि सर ये जो फ्यूल है वो अन अनमिक्स्ड तो नहीं है, या फिर सर वो किस टाइप का है। जैसे कि सर फ्यूल की जो यूजुअली पेट्रोल की जो डेंसिटी है वो वाटर से बहुत कम होती है, और वो बहुत सारे रेगुलर केमिकल से भी कम होती है, लाइक 0.7 75 यस सर के अराउंड होती है।
ओके, तो अब मुझे बताओ, जैसे हम लोग मान लो अब यही पेट्रोल हम लोग BS4 BS6 इंजन में डाल रहे हैं 750 kg per meter cube का, so what will be its impact on BS4 engine and what will be impact on BS6 engine? As you are a mechanical engineer and
Yes,
in
sir.
design, so that question I'm asking.
Sir, since the BS, as we progress in the BS series, the सर जो इसके जो पॉल्यूटेंट्स हैं वो कम होते जा रहे हैं और फ्यूल की इफिशियंसी बढ़ती जा रही है, क्योंकि सर जैसे हम नए सीरीज में हम यूज कर रहे हैं स्पार्क प्लग्स यूज कर रहे हैं फॉर कंबशन, इवन इन डीजल पावर्ड इंजन में भी हम स्पार्क प्लग यूज कर रहे हैं स्प्रे के साथ साथ। तो सर ऐसा है कि हम इसमें ये देख सकते हैं कि अगर वो फ्यूल बेटर है सर, मतलब क्लीनर है, तो फिर वो अच्छा रिएक्ट करेगा, लेकिन अगर वो थोड़ा सा क्रूडर है तो फिर ये प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट कर सकता है नए इंजन में, क्योंकि नए इंजन काफी सोफिस्टिकेटेड है।
ओके, मुझे आप बताओ, सपोज एक सिचुएशन आपको दे दिया, लाइक have you wondered with high pressure situations any time in your life?
Sir, like high pressure situation, sir, as a competitive exam aspirant, we are always in high pressure. We are always in anxiety that what will happen tomorrow.
Suppose I am giving you a case like your
Yes, sir.
equipment failure. Okay, IOCL में काफी बार शट ऑफ होते हैं, काफी शट ऑफ होता है। ओके, मेरे फ्रेंड्स बताते रहते भाई आज शट ऑफ हो गया, कल शट ऑफ हो गया, परसों शट ऑफ है, 3 दिन का शट ऑफ है। ठीक है, अब इक्विपमेंट फेल्योर हो गया है, ठीक है, और उसकी वजह से प्रोडक्शन का डिले हो गया है, तो आप इस हाई प्रेशर सिचुएशन को कैसे हैंडल करेंगे?
सर किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में एक स्ट्रक्चर होता है कि किसी भी चीज के लिए कौन रिस्पॉन्सिबल होगा। तो सर इन केस मैं ही अगर सबसे फर्स्ट पर्सन हूँ जो कि रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, तो सर ये मेरी पूरी 100% प्रायोरिटी कि उसको सबसे पहले मैं ही फिक्स करने के लिए अपना हाईएस्ट एफर्ट लगाऊं। इन केस मैं उसके लिए इनसफिशिएंट हूँ तो मुझे जल्दी से जल्दी लोगों को इन्फॉर्म करना चाहिए कि मुझे और भी लोग चाहिए इसको सॉर्ट करने के लिए।
Okay, over to you, Mr. Subodh sir. If any more questions, please.
Yeah, so you said in the start that IOCL, try to regulate the oil prices because there could be some influence on it due to geopolitics, right? So, like, who is the biggest producer of oil in the world?
Yes. Sir, the Gulf countries are currently the highest producer.
Correct.
But for sir, currently we are buying oil from Russia.
Majorly from Russia, yes. We also
Yes,
buy from
majorly from
Saudi
Russia.
Arabia, and we also buy from Gulf countries, but it's the Russia who is giving us little cheaper. So that's what we are doing. Correct. Also, do you know which is biggest oil company? If you know.
Sir, as far as I remember, it's Shell.
Okay, it's ExxonMobil, but yes, Shell and ExxonMobil both are more or less, in the same zone. Yeah, so I think Jay sir.
Yes, तो अभिषेक अच्छा इंटरव्यू था आपका। थोड़ा सा आपको, वैसे तो आज हमने उतना ज्यादा टेक्निकल में हम गए नहीं, ठीक, एक ओवरऑल हमने आज एक सिचुएशन वाले ही टास्क आपको दिए है ना। तो नेक्स्ट अगर आपका जब भी सेशन रहेगा तो हम लोग उस पर टेक्निकल पे भी फोकस करेंगे। ओके, तो थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल पे, और मैंने देखा आज आप तो थोड़ा क्वेश्चन के आंसर ना बना के दे रहे थे, तो ये बना के मत दीजिए, है ना, तो कैसा समझ में आ जाता है कि आप बना रहे हो करके, ठीक। तो
यस सर। सर एक्चुअली ये मेरा पहला इंटरव्यू और सर थोड़ा टाइम नहीं था मेरे पास, तो मैं प्रिपेयर नहीं कर पाया था।
दैट्स ओके,
कोई
वही
दिक्कत नहीं
पर्पस है इन इंटरव्यूज का।
यस सर।
कोई दिक्कत नहीं, अगला सेशन लेंगे। तो बस मेरा यही मानना है कि आप बस बना के मत दीजिए, बस जो भी राइट टू राइट, पॉइंट टू पॉइंट, अप्रोच टू अप्रोच आंसर दीजिए, है ना, पॉइंट टू पॉइंट देके काफी फायदे में रहोगे आप। ओके, ठीक है। तो चलो अभिषेक,
फॉर एग्जांपल जो आखिरी क्वेश्चन तुम्हें पूछा गया था कि व्हाट विल बी, यू नो, व्हाट वुड यू डू इन केस समथिंग हैपेंस, उसका आंसर आपका बहुत पॉइंट पे था। इट वाज वेरी एक्सेलेंट आंसर। अगर तुम थोड़ा उसके साथ लेट्स से कॉन्फिडेंस ऐड अप कर देते तो बहुत और बढ़िया होता। सो या
ओके, तो आप सेशन में रह सकते हैं। ओके, बस कैमरा ऑफ कर दीजिए। ओके, नेक्स्ट वर्षित, आर यू देयर?
रमाकांत कर
Ramakant and Varshit,
Yeah.
please. Yes. Okay.
Yes sir.
Okay. So Ramakant is there. Wait.